All right, our story today is called Hooray A Pinata. Have you ever seen a pinata before? Hooray A Pinata. This is the title. When we read left to right. We read left to right. So we'll learn about left to right, but we go like this. Hooray A Pinata. Hooray A Pinata. Let's look at the cover. What do we think is going to happen in this story? We see a birthday cake that says happy birthday. Someone's playing an instrument. We have a mom, maybe. There's the pinata. Pinata has candy inside. When you hit it, you break it open and all the candy falls out. Clara's birthday was coming. I'm going to have a cake at my party, she told her friend Samson. Of course you'll have a cake, said Samson. There's always cake at a birthday party. And I'm going to have balloons. Everyone has balloons. And I'm going to have a pinata, Clara added proudly. Mama's taking me to pick out one this morning. Want to come? Hooray, a pinata, Samson clapped his hands. I love pinatas. I love pinatas too, said Clara as her mother led her to the pinata store. I love to fill them with candy. I love to whack them, Samson said. And smack them and crack them, said Clara. And mash them and smash them and break them, cried Samson. And watch the candy fall. And eat candy. There were so many pinatas to choose from. Donkeys and dinosaurs, peacocks and stars, robots and ice cream cones, lions and lambs, all ruffly and fluffly in their bright paper curls. There were even some monster pinatas. Samson made a face at a big, jagged one. Get this scary thundercloud monster, Clara. A thundercloud monster? I like this little dog. Can I get him, Mama? If that's the one you want, said her mother. He's the one, said Clara. That dog is so small. He won't hold very much candy. I like him, though, Clara replied. He's a good little dog. The pinata vendor said as he lifted the pinata down. Clara took the dog in her arms. He was light and soft, and he smelled like newspaper. Clara pet the dog's curly fur as she carried him home. I think I'll name him Lucky. He looks like a Lucky, said Samson. He's a good little dog. We can take him to the park for a picnic. Mom wants me home for lunch, replied Samson, and you should save your pinata for your birthday party. You don't want to get it wrecked. You won't get wrecked, don't worry. At home, Clara gave Lucky a bowl of crunchy brown cereal because he looked a little bit like dog food. Excuse me. She gave him a bowl of crunchy brown cereal because it looked a little bit like dog food. Lucky seemed to enjoy it. When he had eaten, Clara made a collar and a leash and took him out for a walk. Along the way, they stopped to greet people and other dogs and to smell the bushes, flowers, and trees. Then they came home and dug a deep hole in the sand. What are you doing to that poor pinata? Samson called from across the fence. Lucky's digging, Clara told him. He's getting all dirty, replied Samson. He'll shake himself clean. Clara, honey, called her mother. Shake yourself clean and get your sweater. We're going to Grandma's house for dinner. See ya, Clara, Samson said. Take care of that pinata. I will, Clara promised. She held Lucky tight as the car sped across the city. Lucky sniffed the air with its many smell, salty, oily, bready, sweet. His ears flapped in the wind. Grandma was waiting for them on the porch. Look, I got a dog. What a good little dog, Grandma patted him. So quiet and so clean. I have to keep him clean because he's really a pinata, said Clara. If I bathed him, his fur would fall apart. But you can brush him, Grandma said. And you can keep him warm. And here's a little spending money just for you. Thanks, Grandma. Clara hugged her. She knew what she would spend the money on. Dog biscuits and a ride on the merry-go-round near Grandma's house. After dinner, they walked there together. As her horse galloped around and around, Clara pretended that she and Lucky were flying. They're on a carousel. They flew in Clara's dreams that night. Ooh, look at her dreams. They were flying. Look at Lucky and Clara and Samson came. And on her swing the next morning, they ate cheese sandwiches together and listened to stories and biked around the block with Samson. Careful with that pinata, Samson yelled. Don't worry, he's safe. That afternoon, Clara and Samson made paper hats for everyone who was coming to her party the next day. Clara made a little hat for Lucky. You like that pinata so much, Samson said. It's going to be sad when we stuff him with candy and break him. Clara's eyes filled with tears. I don't want anyone to break him, she said. You mean you won't have a pinata at your party? Asked Samson. No candy? We can have candy in bowls, Clara suggested, though she knew it didn't sound like much fun. Samson sighed. You should have a real dog, Clara. Maybe I could get you a puppy for your birthday. I can't have a real dog, Clara said. Dogs and cats make my mother sneeze. They do? That's too bad. I'll have to get you something else then. What? Asked Clara. I'm not sure yet. I'll think of something good. Early the next morning, Samson came by with 2 presents. Clara opened the smaller one first. Inside was a rawhide bone for Lucky. Thanks, Samson. Open the big one, Samson said. Clara tore off the wrapping paper and saw something big, jagged, and scary. Hooray! A pinata! Clara clapped her hands. Hooray! A pinata! Samson clapped too. What a pinata, said Clara's mother. Clara hugged the thundercloud. Let's fill it with candy right now. Before you make friends with it too, Samson laughed. Clara's father helped them cut a hole in the pinata and fill it with almond bars and cinnamon swirls, strawberry rolls and taffy, tiny bags of jelly beans, and shiny chocolate kisses. Then they taped the hole shut and hung the heavy thundercloud in Clara's tree. The pinata scowled at the guests arriving at the party. It glared and they sang and ate cake. It grinned its toothy monster grin at the children, and the children took turns trying to break it. They whacked it and cracked it and mashed it and smashed it and bashed it, but still the storm cloud did not open until Clara gave it a thundering whack, and candy showered down. The children whooped and hollered, hooray, hooray, hooray. They screamed and ran to grab as much as they could. And when they'd eaten all they could, they played with the pinata. Samson wore the scowly face as a mask. Clara turned bottom into a hat. And Lucky chased a quick yellow lightning bolt through the grass. Oh, look at little Lucky. The end. So what happened at the end? Samson got Clara a different pinata, so they would not have to break Lucky. They had to break the new pinata. And now she got to keep Lucky as a pet. Was Lucky a real dog? No, he wasn't a real dog. He was a pinata. But Clara liked to pretend that he was a pet, so she took care of him like he was her own dog. That was a good story. Thanks for listening.